All right, man. Welcome back to Agree to Disagree. And if you're new, welcome to Agree to Disagree. Got my boy Jay Lloyd, Craig Williams, BG, and we got Pops. All right, man. Um, we're gonna talk about the game Tuesday, Game 7 between the Clippers and Denver Nuggets. We can talk about anything that has to do with the series. You can make your prediction on who you think is going to win the series. Why do you think it went 7 games? But before we get into that, man, I just want to clarify that whoever wins this game, history is going to be made regardless. Now, if the Clippers win this game, this is going to be the first time they made it to the conference finals ever. Right? Now, if Denver wins this game, they'll be the second team in the same season to come back from a 3-1 deficit, which is crazy. Crazy. It's like they played better down 3-1. So we're going to kick it off right, man. I'm going to start with you, Jay. What you got from me? Game 7, Denver, Clippers. Who you got? Why?
I don't know.
That is a fair
I'm gonna
answer.
shock the world. I really
Yeah.
don't know.
Facts.
And I will tell y'all why, man. Y'all agree or disagree. I think if it's a close game, I think Denver is going to win the game. I think if it's a close game, Denver is going to win. Something's going on there, y'all. Like something's going on. I feel like Paul George. I talked to y'all about this off air a little bit. When Paul George wasn't playing well, the team looked better because he was more willing to facilitate. He was getting quiet, his post touches, his mid post touches. I see Kawhi standing a lot now. He's in the corner standing. He's getting shots off offensive rebounds. He's just not. They don't look comfortable. And Kawhi to me is not the type of dude that's going to cause an issue. He's just going to go do his job. But they're not effective if he's not clearly the number one guy. And I think Doc Rivers, I feel like with the games I see, is trying to appease PG way too much. Like, PG to be low-key have more rain than Kawhi sometimes. I'm like, we got to play through Kawhi. You know what I mean? PG playing better, but if Kawhi's not clearly that guy when the game slows down, they're not very good. And then quickly, Montrezl Harrell hasn't been the same, obviously, since his grandmother's passing. He hasn't been the same. They put JaMychal Green in before Harrell last game, which is shocking. Lou Williams is nowhere to be found. He's not playing well. Yeah, man. Like it's just it's like this is a crazy stat. I got this stat. In Denver's history before this series, bro, they were 0-15 when trailing by 16 points in the playoff game. 0-15, and they've won the last 2 games that way. So it just lets you know, man, like they have a different level of confidence right now. So if the Clippers don't blow them out, I don't know.
Facts. And to add on to what you were saying, Jay, I actually saw a video yesterday. It was on Twitter. It was I think it's from 2000 and I want to say 2009 finals against the Lakers and the Celtics. It was Phil Jackson talking to the Lakers during the timeout, and he was talking about how this team has the most fourth quarter losses. Talking about the Celtics. So before I move on, how much of that do you think it is Doc? Because you always did question his X and O's, especially during the playoffs.
I definitely think it's Doc. I think I love Doc as a player as a coach, but I feel like the only year that Doc really won is when he had KG. I feel like KG's leadership is different because whatever KG says, they're going to listen to, and KG going to follow whatever the coach says. I don't think they have a guy this year that follows Doc like that. So he's not the dude that, like you said, a great pop, like we talked about in the other episode, where he gonna demand that respect a different way. Like you can almost be too cool with your players, and I feel like at times he's so cool with his players. When that game is tight, y'all saw with Lou Will. He took Lou Will out. Him and Lou Will kind of go back and forth. He gonna put Lou Will back in the game. Like, wait, hold up. Like, if you felt some kind of way, like, let him sit. Like, I've seen great Pop bench Tim Duncan. Like, that's Tim Duncan, man. He's benched him. And, like, Tim Duncan had to follow suit. So, I feel like it's a huge part of that. I feel like they're not really in tune with Doc right now, for sure.
It was just a crazy stat because I saw it yesterday, and he's like, yeah, this team has the most fourth quarter losses. I'm like, wow, crazy. What's your thoughts, Craig?
The one thing I'm gonna say, Clippers had this team on the ropes. You got to go for the jugular, and they didn't do it. This is just general thought. I think they're demoralized after giving up a 3-1 lead, and I feel like if they go into the game, it's a pick'em game really. But I feel like if they go into that game and they get down 12 points, it's going to be hard for them to come back because Denver's going to be so confident.
Yeah.
And they got momentum because they won 3 games. You know what I'm saying? That's hard to do. And I'm not going to always say the best team wins in a 3 games, in a 7-game series. And also too, like I said before about fatigue in the playoffs, Clippers playing these 6 and 7 game series, man. When that fatigue catches up to you. And we're living in different circumstances now with the bubble and all the stuff that's going on. Granted, you don't have to travel; you're playing every other day. But I just think that those factors right there, aside from the X's and O's, is like when you blow that kind of momentum, it's hard to get it back. It's hard to get it back, man. So they got to come out strong. They got to take the lead. If they can hold the lead, if they can come out, hit them in the mouth, and have a lead the majority of the game. But if they down like 10, 12 points in the fourth quarter, that's going to be hard to come back from.
Yeah. Just to add on that, there's no excuse, man. Kawhi's got to be great. Game 7, you got to come out and you got to play, man. Now you always have pressure, but now this is a little different, man. This is a little different. You had the team up 3-1. You blow two double-digit leads in the second half. Kawhi, you got to close that out, man. There is no excuse for this, man. You got to close this out. What you got, Pops?
Well, first of all, man, game hurt, man. Man. Anyhow, but this is what Craig, the Clippers tripping.
They tripping today.
They tripping. Man, listen, man. They have lost 2 double-digit leads in 2 games, and the way they're losing them, it's mind-boggling.
And it don't even be close. Like they come back and they get blasted. I'm just
it's the way that it's how they doing it. And Jay said something that it feels like something is going on there. It feels like that. Paul George said something. Hey John, check this out through my sources. I heard through my sources. But Paul George said something like, he said, they're still in the driver's seat. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not. No, you're not. You're not. You were in the driver's seat. You're not in the driver's seat now because you got to think, man, Denver feels some kind of way because Denver feel like, hey, man, we've been here. We done been through this. And it's the one thing I said, I picked the Clippers in 7. But I said the factor that the Clippers going to have, that the problem they're going to have, what to do about the Joker. And they have no answer for that. I mean, and it's not like Jay said, you see the bickering. First they were playing Reggie Jackson, now they're not playing him. Lou Williams, not getting Lou Will type of minutes. They're going to Shamit. The Moore Senior he's playing great. And I thought the Clippers are on paper, and I think the Morris Senior said it best. He said, we look good on paper. And he's really right. But when you really look at the Clippers, everybody they need to really get going, everybody needs the ball. Lou needs the ball. Kawhi needs the ball. PG needs the ball. Reggie Jackson needs the ball. And Trez is not being Trez. That layoff, you get leg heavy. And here's the thing, man, and I hope it will not happen. But I got to say it because I can't be scared. If Doc loses this game, Doc may get fired, man.
He's out.
Doc's firing everybody.
Doc may get fired because you got to realize Clippers already been here one time with Doc in this 3-1 thing, and they lost to Houston. That's why that was such the big delay about, are we going to retain him or whatever. If Doc loses this, I hope he don't, but Doc may get fired, man, because it's not going to look good. It's not going to look good. Doc will get another job because he's Doc, and he's also a great TV analyst also if he wants to do that. But it don't look right, man. I picked the Clippers in 7, but I got a feeling. That Denver is going to shock the world. I just got that feeling. And like you said, John, Kawhi is going to have to go off. And I ain't talking about third quarter off. I'm talking about soon as tip off.
Yeah, man. He gonna have to have one of those games.
He got to set it off. He's
gonna have to have one of those games.
And, I mean, we all joke about it. How we are, Clipper Lakers and that. But I mean, as a fan, I want to see Clippers and Lakers, but you can't smoke 3-1 off. If you smoke it off, hair's gonna roll. Because why? The Clippers are tripping, man.
Tripping, man. BG, what you got for us?
I got the Clippers because of the Kawhi. Simple.
What?
Kawhi's in the glove. Clippers with Kawhi.
Agreed. I agree with B, man. I always stick up for Kawhi, man. Always talk about how good he is and this and that. This is another moment. So for you to show who you are, another opportunity to put a case on why you're possibly the best in the league, top 1, top 2, top 3. It's games like this, man. It's Jokic's team, and then it's Kawhi's team. We gotta figure that out. Got to. I think Jay said it best. PG, you gotta be robbing for us, man. You gotta be robbing. I just think the way PG scores isn't as effective as the way Kawhi scores. It's simple. You know what spots he's gonna be in. You know what shots he's gonna take. PG, you don't know what he about to do, man. Tween, double behind the backside step. Like, if he, hey, Pops. You don't know what shots he's going to take, man. So he has to be on, and in rhythm to hit those type of shots. But there's no excuse, Kawhi. I need you to close this thing out tomorrow.
And then also, man.
Hold on, one more thing, Pop. One more thing. I really think Kawhi is tired too, man. I think he's tired. You think about all the times, all the games he took off. He ain't used to playing this much. He ain't used to playing through soreness. Now it's coming back to bite him because, I don't know, man. I feel like he be coasting sometimes. Like, all right, Paul got it going. Let's see if we can get it. Right. He be looking tired out there, man.
Good point.
That's a good point. And I also think, like, look at all the games that Kawhi had to really carry them.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the games that he really had to carry them. You can't like Pat Bev. Okay, you try to be an instigator, but bro, you're doing too much. You can't foul out. PG.
Yeah, he only had 4 points.
Yeah, you can't. And right now, I mean, that's why it looks bad on Doc, Because at one time, Doc, oh no, Clippers 12 deep. Now all of a sudden they 7 deep. Why? Now they 7. They went from 12 deep to 7 and 8. And you got cats over there. If you ever watched that game, man, in that game, they put the camera on Reggie Jackson. He wasn't even paying attention to that game. He was up in La La Land. And then he wasn't, even when he went in, he wasn't ready. So now you got to go.
There's no rotation, man. Like,
Yeah.
there's no rotation. Doc,
You don't know who Doc gonna put in. You don't know you don't know who. Like, that was one thing Pat Riley knew. I don't care what the score was. It was, hey, Coop, let's go. 6 man was covered. It wasn't no question. Let's go. Didn't matter who was in foul trouble. Let's go. But Doc can't lose this, man. The Clippers can't lose this. They no, they can't lose this, man. I'm sorry. I'm not a Clipper fan. They can't lose this.
All right, man. If you're watching this is Agree to Disagree. Got my boy Jay Lloyd, Fred Williams, BG, Pops, and his lonesome. Yeah, I'm John. Until next time, man.
It's crazy.